Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Print Storage here. This is our 2022 Subaru Ascent Limited 7-seater. There's one step under the fully loaded Premier in the autumn green metallic. Great color. Actually one of the more popular colors for us in the Ascent lineup, at least at our dealership. Largest Subaru they've ever made. 7 or 8 passengers. Limited. It's the first trim level where you get leather. So at the back, proximity key, but you have the ability to open it with a hatch, button on the door. In the rear bumper, there are those little black circles. Those are the backup sensors that will actually apply the brakes if things you're gonna hit something, which means speed to 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. If you check it out, I do have a video from much earlier on my channel where it demos that. Now, this centerpiece here, if you opt to get the Subaru hitch installed, this comes off. There's actually little push pins right there, and you pull both of those, one on each side, they're off, and this just kind of peels out, and it has a more finished look when you get the hitch installed if you're not using it. Now, behind the third row, there's still decent space, even with the third row up. Have a cargo light. That's set to on right now, so when the hatch opens, that'll turn on. 12-volt outlet for any charging needs. Hard mount tie down. You get 4 of them in the back. Only 2 are accessible while the third row is up. Part of your Harman Kardon audio system. Phenomenal audio system. It's great. These are grocery bag hooks, so you can hook your grocery bags to them. The loops over them so they don't go tumbling everywhere when you take a corner. Underneath here, we've got our privacy cover, and that plugs into the 2 square sockets there, and then you pull back and it goes in this track here. Hides everything from the top of the seat level down. We've got access to all of our spare tire tools. The jack is in the one back there, and actually right under here, we've got instructions on how to do that. Now, if you need to fold the seats flat for a little bit more storage, simple as this. Lift, push. Even putting one side down, one seat down, way more storage. Same thing on this side. Lift and push. Now that third seat belt you can undo, and it will actually just retract fully into the roof. There's a slot for the buckle in there. In the back, we have media storage and 2 USB charging ports, speakers. You've got, you could call it 3 cup holders, 2 cup holders and a media storage. On this side, you have 2 cup holders, get a speaker, and then that and that are the additional tie downs there. Now, to lift these seats up, to raise them back, you just grab the tether, lift. Now it locks upright, and then you can adjust the angle of the seat quite a bit. You have quite a bit of freedom with this and adjustability. And then these headrests just pop up, and just like a driver front passenger headrest, push in and it slides down. Now, they've made it so you can close it, you can lock and close it, or you can pull down manually. So the idea behind this is you close it, it locks, you don't have to pull your keys out of your pocket or walk back up front and click lock. And it flashes to let you know it's locked. Now, second row, being a 7-seater, you end up with captain's chairs in the middle, which as a passenger, an adult or a teenager, much more comfortable. Now, if the goal is to stuff as many people into a vehicle as possible, you go with an 8-seater. Now, this particular trim level is available in both a 7 or an 8-seater with a bench in the middle. So you have access to the third row through the middle with the 7-seater, or just like the 8-seater, you have this lever on the side of the seat and it slides. This is designed to be a step. It's textured, less likely to slip, and you have access into that third row. But these seats are adjustable. You can fold them flat, so it won't go as flat as the 8-seater, 1 and then 2. That's how flat it lays. So there is a bit of an angle, but I do have clients that have still camped in the back of their Ascent. They just put a foamy or something in there, and they account for the angle somehow. And then you just lift it back up. These armrests go all the way up, all the way down, and then they lock in multiple positions depending upon your preference. I get asked about these little handles all the time. Those are so that you can leverage your way through. If you're a taller person in the third row, you grab it so you've got something to grab onto. Very handy. On the backs of both front driver and passenger seat, you have storage pockets. You have climate controls for the second and third row, controllable from right here, or you can control it from the front driver passenger seat. The outer 2 seats are heated, both in the 7-seater and the 8-seater. Anyone that sits in the middle seat doesn't get that. 2 USB ports for charging. cup holders. You've got bottle holders in the door, bottle holders in the door. I guess cup holders there, bottle holders there. In the Limited, this is the first trim level where you get the sunshade. Blocks the sun, makes it easier to watch things on a tablet device, easier to take a nap. Now, I mentioned climate control earlier. The vents are actually out of the roof for both the second and third row. So you feel the heat or the air conditioning as a passenger much more effectively. Now, if you're putting kids in the second or third row, you've got child locks. So down means it's activated, it's locked, they cannot open it from the inside on that door. Up means it's normal operation. All of the Ascents come with the roof rails. They've integrated tie downs into it, so you just have to get the crossbars if you're going to mount anything up top. And you get the panoramic sunroof, moonroof combination with the Ascent Limited, actually touring model and up. Now, being a proximity key just has to be within 46 inches. You've got these lines right here, locks it. Wait a second, walk back up, again, key within 46 inches, and it unlocks. And you can change that. From factory, it only unlocks the driver door, but you can make it so putting your hand in the driver handle unlocks all of the doors. We have power windows, locks, and mirrors, including window lock if you have anyone playing with windows that you want to stop. 2 position memory settings for your power driver seat. Bottle holders, and they've got a Harman Kardon, I guess, pin sort of thing, logo on each speaker to let you know that it's a Harman Kardon. Now, there are 2 pieces of the seat that will not be remembered for the seating position in the memory settings. One is the manual thigh extender, so you can extend this. If you've got longer legs and you find the seat is cutting off circulation in your legs, extend it. I find it very, very comfortable for long trips, so I won't remember that. And it does not remember your lumbar support level, because that is something that adjusts depending upon how long you're in the vehicle for. Now, these headrests are tiltable. They're adjustable depending how you like to sit. I know lots of vehicles now have their headrests like that, and it forces your head and neck forward. That's not very comfortable. That's how I like it. On the driver's left side, we've got a little storage cubby here. Below that, we have the ability to open the rear hatch, the ability to turn on all the interior lights together, memory for the rear tailgate. So you can set it so the tailgate only opens to X height. If you park in a low parking garage or you park under trees and all the way open is going to hit something, you can make it so it doesn't. This is a scroll wheel for the brightness for the gauges. We have traction control, and then we have blind spot detection. So blind spot detection is on the side mirrors. There's a little black screen. It is kind of hard to see. There's a black screen on each side. And when you turn on the vehicle, that's what it looks like when someone's in your blind spot on the corresponding side. So it's not an elimination for shoulder checking, but it's a nice enhancement or aid. It's quite enjoyable, actually. Now, on the steering wheel, it looks initially very, very busy, but once you know what it is, it's very, very simple. The left-hand side has to do with our Bluetooth and audio control. So you've got your volume, the ability to make calls out, issue voice commands, accept phone calls, hang up or decline. These will swap through presets. Source will switch from AM to FM to CD to satellite to USB, whatever you have hooked up. On the right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise control, which you can actually turn to conventional cruise control. I'll show you that too. And lane centering. Now, both of those systems use Subaru's 2-color stereo eyesight cameras that are mounted behind the windshield here inside to look for vehicles, road lines, obstructions. So when I turn on cruise, you get an image of the Ascent, and you'll notice there's 4 bars ahead of it, all the way down to 1. And the bars are the distance, so that's decreased follow distance. This is increased follow distance. So 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour, if you catch up to someone, you'll slow down and follow them at 150 to 180 feet. So if you're going 110, you catch up to someone going 100, you'll slow down to 100 and you'll follow them. If you want to follow closer, you can do that. And then we have lane centering. So that's that. You notice the little steering wheel images there. You also get the little screen up here with the steering wheel and the Ascent. So if above 60 kilometers an hour, the 2 cameras can see the road lines. They'll illuminate white on either side, and it will actually give you gentle steering input to keep you in the middle of your lane. I don't advise you use it around town. It's great for the highway, long distance trips, but I do find that I'm far less fatigued at an end of the day of driving with that. It's great. It does take something to get used to, for sure. All important, heated steering wheel, and in the Ascents, it's a full heated wheel. Normally on Subarus, it doesn't heat between the seams. There is still a dead spot down here, but the majority is heated. These arrows here control this middle screen, gives you a bunch of different information. Most people opt for the digital speedometer. We have the headlights that default to auto, which is great. You can't accidentally be driving around with your headlights off. Fog lights are there. There's a little information screen up top. We can adjust with these two arrows here. Every time you press an arrow, it changes the screen you're on. And again, more information that it can give you. What safety tech's on, change settings, date, time, lots of information. Now, something that's very, very cool for the Ascent, you can actually tell who has their seatbelt on based on weight or occupancy with weight, and then if it's buckled. So it even tells you the third row. I know it's kind of hard to see, but there are 3. So in the 7-seater, that one will be a dead one, but everything else will work. 8-inch, easy to use infotainment screen. It's all touch, or we have the physical buttons down here. Got map, put it in reverse, backup camera comes up, rear assist braking, parking sensors are on. It does show you the top of the bumper there, so you have something to relate to. Easy stuff to touch. We've got apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all of that good stuff. And then 3 zones of climate control: driver side, passenger side, rear to access the rear. Press that, and then you can adjust from driver or passenger side. Easy to use. 3 stages of heated seats, high and low for both the driver and passenger. A little storage cubby down here with a 12-volt. And then we've got 2 USBs and aux, auto vehicle hold. That's a brake holder. X mode is like 4x4 low in a pickup. And then, of course, automatic transmission. So you do have a manual mode. If you want to select your own gears, you have the positive and the downshift, the negative. So you can notice if I pull up on the right one, it goes to second, pull down on the left, it goes to first. Parking brake, electronic. My favorite feature ever in any vehicle, auto dimming rear view. There's no switch to flick, it just automatically dims if someone's got their high beams on behind you. Your side mirrors also do the same thing. It's incredible. We've got home link buttons on the mirror, so you can actually hook up to 3 separate garage doors to your mirror, so you don't have to carry a bulky opener on your sun visor. Sunglasses storage paired with a spy/conversation mirror. You've got your sunroof controls. Only the front pane here opens and slides. The back one's just for light. And then you get a 3-year trial to the connected services with most new Subarus, so SOS and roadside. So handy things to have for sure. Most of them come with the app. You can remote start your vehicle from your phone if it's not a manual. Does a bunch of other stuff, but that's kind of the one people key in on. So that is a quick look at the 2022 Subaru Ascent Limited 7-seater. I'm Tyson, the Super Specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any question about this vehicle or any of the tech in it, any of the features, functions, about anything in our lineup, the Ascent, Outback, Crosstrek, any of our vehicles, please put them in the comments below. I always look forward to getting back to you guys and answering your questions. And if there's something you want to see in a future video, please mention that. Do take that into consideration, because I'm always looking for new stuff to make for you guys. Talk soon.